Hey.
So what's going on, everybody?
Howdy, y'all.
Hello. We're
So
still
we're still what, Kelly?
now we're live.
Yes. So we're still working out some bugs. I'm sorry about this, everybody. Hopefully today runs a lot smoother than what the last time we did was. So as y'all know, I'm Nick. That's my wife Kelly, and down there we have Miss Taylor Cage, who's been renamed
Hey, y'all.
Nicotine again.
God save the queen of nicotine.
So Taylor, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? So that we all
Um, so, in case anyone doesn't already know, I work in the industry and sell nicotine. Um, Other than that, Dylan and I have an e-liquid brand called Straight Up, and we just released some nicotine shots to help out the people in per mil taxed states like Ohio and Jersey and all these other states that decide to nickel and dime these businesses to death. On top of that, I also do some CBD ingredient sales here and there, terpenes, flour, things like that. And all of this has led up to an incredibly enormous passion for advocacy for this entire industry.
That's awesome. So what got you into doing all this?
Well, I started with another nicotine company. Right now, I'm with North America Nicotine. We're the exclusive importer of CNT, which is the largest nicotine provider worldwide. And before that, I started with a smaller nicotine company called Alchem.
hold on,
They
Taylor.
manufacture.
We're actually having some issues. Nobody can see us.
Oh,
Um, all right,
They
guys.
can just listen to us talk.
Right.
they could.
Yeah, y'all just won't be able to see us this time. I'm sorry. We'll have it fixed. I promise. Sooner or later. Go ahead, Taylor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I started with another company called Allchem. They manufacture the brand Nick Select. I did such a good job with them that people still associate them with me whenever they see me. So that's fun sometimes. But yeah, I just kind of went through a really tough time, decided to change industries, and I saw this opening that asked for a sales and marketing person in, and I had been vaping for a year or two prior to that. So I kind of knew my way around and I thought, hey, this is perfect for me. Let's try it out. And I did, and of course, got the job and never really looked back. Since then, this industry has just become my entire life.
Nice.
Here we are.
And how long did you smoke for before you started vaping?
If I say that, then I have to disclose my age.
It's okay.
We're all friends here.
Yeah.
So I started smoking at a really young age. I was 12, right on the edge of 13. And I smoked until I was 26. So, like, half my life, I smoked.
Wow.
And I really didn't even, I didn't put a lot of pressure on myself to quit. I just bought a little ego pen and some Castle Long e-liquid, and I would, do it after I smoked, before I smoked. Eventually, I just stopped smoking.
And
Very
that's the
cool.
way to do it. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that, that quit date, that's a nice thing, but if you put that pressure on yourself, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I ended up with like this half a pack of cigarettes in my purse. And I would reach for it and say, "Oh, I'm really good. I really don't want this." And then I turned it into kind of a game or a challenge with myself. And that half a pack of cigarettes in my purse ended up staying there for 3 months until I finally threw them out. And it's like, all right, done with it.
Yeah. An open pack of cigarettes probably shouldn't be left open for like 3 months. They probably would have been real bad.
Oh yeah, they would have been disgusting for sure.
Well, now that we have faces, what are you vaping on?
Go for it.
You guys want to go first, my gracious hosts?
Sure. All right. Babe, you?
Okay, so I have my wonderful grip, number 4. I don't know if you can see it.
Ooh. Oh, how cute. I love your little paw print.
Yeah, everything's dog in my world. And then I've got the Passage RDA on there with a half moon tip because I love half moon tips. And inside, I am being different today, and I am vaping some Speakeasy from Prohibition.
Oh, nice. I love that company.
It's
Those guys
so
are amazing.
They are so great.
Yeah, Joey's one of my favorite people. He
And
was my maid of honor.
oh, that's true.
And then in my all day, every day, the one that I always have with me is my matchy red Boy with the dead rabbit and a crispy cap and some Vengeance on the inside because I always have Vengeance with me. He's my little buddy.
Nice.
What do you got, Nick?
So I got a couple different things. I have my Atom by Immortal. And then on top of that, I have the Dang RDA, which is amazing.
Oh, already?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fancy.
It is. I love it. The airflow on it is perfect. And
Another amazing company. I just love those guys.
the build deck is so foolproof. Anybody can put coils in it. It's amazing. And then inside of it, I have Ben. I always have Ben on me. Love it. Then I have my other Immortal grip setup, which is number 10. And in that, I have some strawberry peanut butter and jelly by by Jam Monster.
Yeah, I think they did rebrand to Monster Vape Labs.
I thought so.
That's
Yeah.
another amazing group of people.
They are all super friendly over there too.
Actually, yesterday was Mr. Andrew Park's birthday, so some synergy there.
Yeah.
I like to deflect because I always feel really shy doing this. I don't know. I use tanks. Not into a lot of like intricate stuff. I like the simple, easy, let's just vape it kind of thing. So I've got my Aegis, whatever you want to call it, with the gray and white camo.
Nice.
And Typhoon tank, and that has Sugarloaf from Maine Vape Co. in it.
Okay.
One of my favorite e-liquids, and the way I describe it is imagine you get those big fat cinnamon rolls from the store or bakery, and you eat the whole pan of it on Christmas morning, and that's what this tastes like to me.
Then I'm going to need to get a bottle because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, definitely talk to my friend Areg at Maine Vapor Co. He is awesome. Then I have this Speedy Built that Scott Foster made for me. Dylan designed it. Is the Nicotine Queen on it.
I love that mod.
Has all my favorite bands here on the back. This is a Firelink Pro, I think. This nifty little design. And of course, I've got Straight Up Cake in that.
Nice.
That's really good too.
Yeah.
I've had that a couple of times, and that's really. I also like the Straight Up Apple.
That candy
Yeah.
is my favorite.
Really, all across the board. That's not cake is definitely our like flagship flavor there.
Well, yeah, let them vape cake.
Exactly.
So, as promised, our Patreon gets to pick the pup of the day. And since y'all can see it now, you get to meet Mr. Vulcan. So hold on, I gotta get him because he's a mess.
You're a professional pup wrangler. You can do it.
He's napping.
Such a hard life.
Vulcan, come here.
Say hello to the fans.
These people came to see you. Say hi, buddy. Vulcan is our only non-rescued pup.
Yep.
He is about 8 months old. He's German Shepherd and Husky.
With a big itch.
Yeah. He got his name because it had to be a V. And he is Nick's boy. And Nick was a Star Trekkie. So he got Vulcan.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's the
And he is the strawberry kiwi flavor because everyone would say, "Oh, I'm going to steal your dog." So we had to get a flavor that everyone would try to steal, which everyone liked strawberry kiwi, so it made sense. So there he is. That's Mr. Vulcan.
great dog.
He's gone now. He's given up. He's done with the show.
So, we all have a little bit of questions, like just a couple questions for you, Taylor. Mainly
Okay.
about nicotine. Like, so with the shop that I work at, a lot of people are always asking me what the main difference between salt nic and freebase is.
So there's two major differences, or two sides of differences, really, which is molecular makeup or chemical makeup, and the way it affects your body. And one definitely influences the other. So the chemical makeup makes it affect your body differently. Chemical makeup of salt is so much more complex than people think. So you start with traditional nicotine. I'm trying really hard not to use the word freebase because we're not using that word anymore.
Oh, we're not?
Yeah, we're not saying freebase because the leap from freebase nicotine to like freebase crack cocaine is really
very easy.
Yeah, I get it.
and we don't want to encourage that. So traditional organic nicotine, because pretty soon we're going to have to say organic too with the emergence of synthetic. So traditional organic nicotine, when it's blended down into a traditional e-liquid, it binds to a VG or a PG molecule, whatever the carrier is, on a one-to-one basis. So you have one molecule of nicotine, one molecule of PG or VG.
Okay.
And it's a homogeneous blend. So you can add anything in, it's going to mix well, so on and so forth. With the salt one lowers the pH. So that's what gives you a less harsh throat hit. And that's what allows a much higher nicotine concentration to be taken into the body without the effects that you would get if you were vaping a 50 milligram traditional e-liquid. So what the salt formulation allows, you add in acid, basically, whether it's benzoic acid, salicylic acid, lactic acid. There's a lot of different options that a lot of different people are using. That's a topic for a whole nother day. But essentially it allows you to double the nicotine concentration and keep the same amount of volume. So you have one salt molecule that attaches to more than one nicotine molecules, and instead of just a one-to-one bond.
Okay. So would the one-to-one be better for you as a vapor, or would the salt be better for you? I feel like I know the answer, but I'm just making sure I ask all the questions.
Well, it really depends on what your goals are. There's not enough research on salts to definitively say one is better than the other. We do know, especially with the emergence of Juul and all the studies that they've done that are, available for public consumption, that benzoic acid gives the hit, and bodily reaction that mimics a cigarette the most. So that's why the salt is definitely considered more bioavailable. It gets into your bloodstream faster. Some people have said it's more addictive. Uh, it's not for me to say. I have my personal opinions about it, but I think traditional is really the way to go. I think salts are a slippery slope, and with a higher bioavailability, there comes a higher potential for abuse and higher addictiveness to it.
Makes sense.
Disclosure.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I'm an absolute hypocrite because I also have my Miley that I never go anywhere without, with my V-God Cubano pods. So,
but I feel like having the salt is a good way for the smokers to work their way down.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Start on that, and you'll get the same feeling as a cigarette, and then you can work your way to a traditional nicotine, and then work your way down to no nicotine. I mean, I've said it before, I could honestly be a zero nicotine person if I wanted to. I choose to stick with 3 because I just want to for a little bit longer. But yeah, I could honestly be a 0 at this point, and that's amazing for me. So
yeah, I still go back and forth between like 3 and 6, and then if I feel I really am not getting that oomph, I'll use the Miley or our unsalted line, which is 12 and 18 milligram in 50/50 VGPG.
And I love the fact that y'all did the unsalted line.
Thanks. Yeah, well, it's a way to really support the shops that are like living and dying by the margins on salt, and a lot of people came to us and said that they wanted a different option. They wanted to get their customers off salts. There's no reason for someone to initiate use at 50 milligrams and just stay at 50 milligrams. There's not a good enough step down. You go from 35 to 25, and then what? Most shops have traditional nic up to 12, maybe if you're lucky. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to fill in that step there for someone to make the jump back to traditional or to traditional.
Yeah, see, at the shop that I'm at, we're getting rid of all of our high nicks. We're not stocking anything over a 35 now.
Oh, awesome.
And then from there, we have the step down where we do have a line that we can do 12, 18, and 24. And then they can go into the regular free traditional.
Yeah, good job. Yeah. I know. I still slip too sometimes. Sometimes.
Uh-oh, Taylor froze. Taylor will be right back with us, guys. Oh, there she is.
There you are. You froze for a second. That's okay. It happens.
Really cold here.
It is.
So, do you have any recommendations of, like, where should we try to aim our customers if they come in trying to get off of cigarettes that are, like, say, a pack a day? Should we push them towards the 3s or to the 6s? Is there any kind of information that you can kind of lead on that to help other people?
So I've seen a lot of research that supports that a higher nicotine level is way more conducive to quitting. Not necessarily quitting, but definitely mimicking the markers of an actual cigarette.
Okay.
Oh, and when I think about it, I quit with a 24 milligram, I think, maybe 18. It was definitely higher than 12, and it might have been in the 20s. And I can't imagine. There were a few times when I went into my regular vape shop, and I asked, to move down a level, got it home, got it in my tank, and realized, this is just not doing it for me. So
now,
it's a process.
If someone were to get a flavor, say they get a bottle of Vengeance and a 3 and they realize that it's not enough nicotine, would you suggest going to the vape shop and talking to them and seeing about adding nicotine to it, or buying a whole new bottle?
Oh, I think definitely go to your local vape shop. We started this industry as like the stewards of this technology, and come to the vape shop. We'll walk you through every single step. We'll change your coil for you. We'll do this. We'll do that, and educate people every step of the way. And the more and more vape shops that popped up, the less and less we did that. So yeah, I would definitely say go back to the shop, see if they can add nicotine. Definitely ask questions about said nicotine, because some people are just throwing who knows what in there. Definitely vet the quality of that nicotine, and then.
And for anyone watching, if you go and you ask them to add nicotine, make sure you see them open it, and make sure that it's in a labeled container. You don't want any like random cups of liquid being dumped into your vape.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Please do not do that.
Make sure that you're sure that that's what you're getting. You know, it's your right as the customer to know what you're putting into your body. And if they say, oh, well, here, have this little solo cup of whatever, don't trust that. You know,
yeah, even better, ask specifically for straight up Nick shots.
That would be awesome.
Like 18 and 36 milligram shots, which is significantly less strong as some of the packs. So it's a lot less dangerous, a lot easier for a consumer to use. And you just add 10 mils into a 50 mil bottle to take it from a 0 to a 3 or a 3 to a 6.
That's perfect.
So on and so forth. All available at straightupco.com.
There you go.
Now another question for you. I recently heard about sage nicotine.
About what?
Sage nicotine?
I haven't heard of that.
See, I'm not sure what it is. That's I didn't know if you knew anything about it or not.
Sage nicotine?
Yeah. It's supposed to come in traditional and also in salt.
I haven't heard that name before. I would be really skeptical about.
That to me sounds like it comes from a sage plant, which doesn't have nicotine in it.
Right. Might smell nice.
It might.
Yeah, I've found it here. I've never heard of this company, and I'm sure they're delightful people, but when it comes to e-liquid and something you're putting in your body, I would not go with someone who has been in the market for a really long time.
Yeah, like North American.
Right.
Or straight up.
We've been in business 30-something years.
Yeah.
And it's the nicotine that we use for our line, so it's good. We like it.
It's smooth. Not 30 at all, which is great. Now, how about we post another question for Taylor? This is going to be a complicated one.
Uh-oh.
So, it's your choice of what section we talk about next. Do you want to talk about the shelter pet of the week or the critter corner?
Oh, tough.
Or the...
Choosing which one to do first, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then I say shelter pet of the week, because I feel like it might make me a little bit sad thinking about a poor puppy that doesn't have a home, and then we get cheered up with the critter corner.
All right.
Okay.
So let me do. Sorry, guys, you're gonna have to deal with a randomness.
We're still learning how Facebook works, or not Facebook,
Right.
Whatever this is. That was my comment. And they're saying to turn up your mic, Nick.
All right. So go ahead, Kelly. Go ahead and talk about Trixie.
Okay, so Trixie, we found her. Oh, look, there's my little bumper. Trixie is a boxer mix, and she is in the Marion County, West Virginia shelter. She is 7 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
And she is a good old lady. She needs to go to a home where everyone is calm. If you have another dog, please take them to meet her first and make sure it's a calm dog. So like another older dog would be great. Trixie, we picked her because she looks like Ben. So if you have a love for
Ben is my favorite.
yeah. And you know, it touches me because seeing her in that shelter, she is such a good girl and she just needs to go home. So if anyone out there is looking for a dog, preferably an older dog, and when I say older dogs, 7 does not mean that they're untrainable or unlovable. It just means that they've already gone through the hard stages of potty training and learning rules. So she's going to be great because she already has all those bad habits either worked out or set in stone. Yeah. So with her, like I said, a house preferably with older kids, preferably with, if there is another animal in the house, something that's calm and easy to work with. She does have a medical condition. She did test positive for Lyme disease. So that is not a death sentence. That just means that when she goes home, she's bringing some medicine with her until she's fixed. So that's everything you need to know about Trixie.
Oh, Trixie. She's the best, girl.
But she does. She is a white version of Ben. She's beautiful. I have pictures, but I'm not going to try and do any more of the buffers or anything since obviously the software's not working for us today.
Hold on. I have pictures of Miss Trixie.
Yeah, pictures of Trixie you can pull up and show everybody real fast.
There she is.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
She is Ben. She just
is a like grayscale version of Ben. Yeah,
she is. She is just a lighter Ben.
Yeah, she's a wonderful dog.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they'll make sure that everything you need for her is going home with her, but she does need to go home, and she needs to go home sooner rather than later. So, if anyone out there needs a pup, there you go.
Now, instead of moving straight to the critter corner, what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about advocacy for a minute.
All right.
One of the things that I also want to bring up is a project that you've started working on, Taylor, with a GoFundMe, the Grinch Relief Fund.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that has been an incredible ride. Kevin Price, if anyone doesn't know him, he is on the board of Tobacco Harm Reduction for Life. He is one of my favorite people in the industry. He's just so kind and giving and just a wonderful man, and does so much for our industry that he never even gets credit for or even tries to. But this was all his doing. He started it up, and I kind of jumped in and said, I'm going to help you whether you like it or not. And so I made a Facebook page and started getting some donations going, thanking the donors, like making, a really big deal out of all the donations that we got, because some of these companies gave us a lot of money. We've raised over $12,000.
That's awesome.
And that's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, and so all of the money is going directly to families that have lost their jobs or just going through incredible hardships because of vape bans or flavor bans. And
I posted the link in the chat. If you want to copy and paste it and donate what you can, that would be super amazing of you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, no amount is too small. $5, $50, $500. It all goes to help these families in need, and hopefully we can get a lot more donations in before Christmas. It's trying to think about not having a job during this season, and especially for the families with kids, like
Yeah, I'm wondering if you're going to be able to pay the bills or buy Christmas presents. Where do you put your priority there? I mean,
Yeah. And so we definitely just wanted to come together as a community and say, you know what, not on our watch. You're going to have a Christmas, even if it's just a little bit, we can help. So we've helped, I think, something around like 30 families so far. We have enough bandwidth for maybe 20 to 30 more. Uh, one of my favorite stories, I talked to a guy named Mike. He's in Massachusetts, and he was one of the people that we sent relief to. And I wanted to make sure just everyone was okay with me sharing any info in case anyone asked for transparency. So I said, "Hey, do you mind if we use your name and disclose any of the info?" And he was like, "Yeah, no problem. This has helped me so much. Thank you so much." Uh, and I was like, "Okay, well, I'll let you know if we need to. There's really no strings attached, but in case anyone asks." And he said,
right.
"Well, in case anyone asks, uh, tell them thank you from Raven too." And I kind of freaked out for a second. I was like, "Wait, I didn't see a Raven on the list." I went back and checked. There wasn't anyone named Raven, and I was like, "Okay, Raven who?" And he sent me a photo, and Raven is his dog.
Oh,
And with the money that we sent him, he used it to stock up on food and treats and all kinds of stuff for Raven. So
oh.
yeah, I get choked up every time. Every time I think about it.
Well,
Is
pets are people too.
They are. And a lot
yeah,
of people don't think about them when it comes to the holidays, which is kind of sad. So
yeah,
if you have an
In
animal,
reality, they don't care. It's just another day to them, but it is important that they have the food. A lot of times during the
yeah,
holidays, people don't, they're like, okay, well, do I buy the Xbox for my kid? And then they don't realize, oh crap, I'm out of dog food. And so the dog ends up not eating for a couple days. So,
yeah. It was super touching to see that taking care of his little fur baby was priority number one, and not knowing when he's gonna get another paycheck or if he's gonna get another job or what.
right.
He wanted to make sure his dog was taken care of.
And if you do donate and you want to remain anonymous, that's allowed too.
Yeah, absolutely. We have we had some big anonymous donors. No, obviously I can't say who, but people that really care about this industry and don't need the recognition. My view on it is if you donate and you're inspired to give, you 100% deserve that recognition. Um, but I also understand not wanting to be having that kind of attention.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, but we're grateful either way.
And for the people that you have, for the 20 families that you have left, do you already have an idea of who they are?
Yes and no. We're still accepting nominations. So if you guys know someone and want to throw their hat in the ring, if they've lost their job, if they're economically affected in any way, uh, please reach out to us via the Grinch Relief Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Grinch Relief.
Awesome. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you guys have been able to help out. Like that's really awesome because I know there are a lot of families out there struggling right now, and that's
Yeah.
really,
The feeling was just incredible. Kevin and I have been kind of trading off on who does what days, and the days that I'm sending out money to these people, and I ask them for their PayPal, send them some money, and say, "Okay, go check it." Um, that is just the best feeling. Just seeing them be so thankful, and being able to like give back to this community is such a good feeling.
it is.
right? If only there. I wish there was more people like that. There's so many people in the industry that want to help and that try to help and help in their own ways. A lot of people, when they feel like they can't donate monetarily wise, they just feel like they're not doing anything. But it's just being nice, just simple, small little gestures.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. One of our people, um, John Lau in Massachusetts as well, donated $50. I think one of the first days that it was up, and I was like, John, you are the effect, like you're the recipient of these donations, not the donor. So I kind of surprised him and said, okay, you donated $50. Here's like 3 or 4 times that. Merry Christmas. So
Awesome.
That's awesome.
And I think one of the things that I know Kevin wanted to do, and I think what we've really shown is that this is more than a business. We are a community. This is our life. We band together. We are friggin' family. And when someone's in trouble, we help them. And that's what this industry was built to do. We help people no matter in which way. So it's really incredible to be part of something that is just so selfless sometimes.
And
Yeah,
that
awesome.
is. Do you have an end day? Like after a certain day, you will no longer be accepting donations, or is this going to be a long, ongoing process until?
We're still figuring that out. I think as long as people want to donate, I don't see anything wrong with continuing to help people. Obviously the holidays are a really intensive time, but hopefully we can snowball it into maybe something bigger, maybe a relief, complete resource, that helps people affected by bans, because they keep on coming.
Yeah. I mean, and I know wintertime it's hard for a lot of families because they have to pay their bills to keep the heat on in the house. And, Christmas, that's a lot of outgoing money, but then January comes around and they've already depleted everything they've had to make sure that Christmas happened, because you don't want the kids to know that this is how bad it is right now. So, that's awesome.
So yeah, as long as the donations keep coming in, we're gonna keep doing what we set out to do.
And so there's no end date that y'all have set up or anything?
Not as of yet. We're kind of playing it by ear. So
Okay.
That's still awesome. I mean, I would give more if I could.
We appreciate everything that you do. Even the shares, like if you can't donate, share it. Like we appreciate that. We have a ton of shares. We've gotten a lot of reach. Maybe I can tell you guys a juicy little secret. You can be on the lookout for a mention about Grinch Relief Fund on Vice.com.
Ooh, very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear about Montana today?
Yeah. Montana just passed a 190-day flavor ban.
190 days? That's
or 120 days,
right?
120 days.
I missed
Still.
It's a long
Montana?
Yep.
Yeah.
How many vape shops are in Montana?
I don't have an exact number, but I know that there's a few people that are going to be affected by it, and there's a few shops who are looking for alternative ways to still offer the flavors to people without getting in trouble. So
I have a lot of thoughts on this, actually. First of all, these states, I think, do not have the resources to enforce these bans. And even if they did have the resources, let's say they send someone into a vape shop to test these liquids to make sure that they don't have flavorings in them. Well, first of all, tobacco is a flippin' flavoring. So, and they don't understand that difference. So what's to say that you can't have a highly complex tobacco cake flavor
Right.
As long as it says tobacco on the label, they're not going to be able to say, oh, actually, no, we consider this a flavor. So, my recommendation, and I know we're actually doing it. I know a couple of other brands, like I think Boosted is doing it, making tobacco flavors, wink, wink, that just correspond to the usual flavors that allow these vape shops to keep operating and have options that are not going to get them in trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing with our tobacco also. Is we have
Yeah,
a smoked apple tobacco.
excellent. Yeah,
But
and
we're
I
not going to tell you any more
was,
about that because that's Patreon only information.
I'm gonna need some samples, so
Oh, of course.
I think we
probably
can
give you
work
my
that
tasting
out.
notes. But yeah, and then another thing is these laws are absolutely unjust. If anyone wants to break these laws, I suggest you do it. Call the media, get them there in your shop. Hopefully, you have a sweet little old lady behind the counter that is extremely sympathetic looking, and she gets arrested, taken away, or whatever for selling e-liquid. Please let that happen. Like, let it out on the national news media and see what happens. Like, these flavors will get booted really quickly.
Yeah.
Now that
I mean,
doesn't mean that you need to go and cause scenes to get arrested. It's only if it happens by itself.
Uh, well, I mean, these vape shop owners, I don't think should cease operating. I
No, I
think,
don't
no.
either.
But I mean,
uh,
I don't think you should be like throwing rocks at the police or anything like that. I mean, as long as you
yeah,
are within the law,
definitely don't do
aside
that.
from the flavors, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, keep operating your shop, but if you feel like there's going to be an arrest made or police officers come sniffing around, I would definitely recommend calling your local news station and letting them know what's going on so that it can get picked up.
And I mean, at the very least, turn on your phone and record it. Go live if you can on Facebook or Twitter, or make sure it's seen. Because if you just go live on your own Facebook, that's all your friends are going to see it, and they will share the crap out of it.
Yeah. So I've tried to nominate Kara Tibbetts for this mission, and she has declined for now. I'm still working on her. I think one of these days she'll do it. We just gotta get past the whole I've never been to jail part.
I'll do it. I've been to jail. Let's do it.
Right?
Yeah, there you go. So we need to get you hired on as a vape shop manager, literally anywhere, and state. That's the caveat. And
Yeah,
then
well, I mean,
break
we're
that law.
only a second away from Ohio, and with the way Ohio talks, it might not. It might be sooner rather than later for Ohio.
Yeah, let's hope not. I feel like Ohio really has their stuff together. OHVTA is one of those groups that is like a powerhouse advocacy group. I was there the day that the 21 and the tax went in action. We had a huge rally outside the state house there. I spoke in front of a bunch of people for the first time. I was terrified, and it was awesome. So I think Ohio really has things under control.
Yeah, we seem to be really lucky so far in Ohio. I mean, we did get hit with the 10 cents a mil tax, but that's the worst that's happened so far. So I think we should be considered kind of lucky right now since we don't have a favor ban looming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially compared to all these other states. I just can't imagine the fact that these people in positions to make these laws would just sign away millions, usually in tax revenue, and thousands of jobs with the stroke of a pen. It really blows my mind.
Well, Dad said you gave a great speech.
Oh, I appreciate that, Dad.
Do you remember Dad?
Yeah, I remember Dad.
He's the crazy old man.
Yeah. So again, if you have the ability to and you have a few extra dollars and you want to help out families in need, the link is in the chat. I can post it again for you guys. Please donate what you can. Don't put yourself into debt for it, but every penny helps.
Yeah, and every share helps as well. So if you want to log on to the Facebook page, pick out a couple of posts and share those to your favorite groups and your timeline, we would definitely appreciate that too.
Exactly. So why don't we switch to happy note? Let's do
Okay.
All right.
Critter Corner.
Yay. And okay, so Critter Corner. So I have something that kind of ties into the shelter pets. When you go and pick up your shelter pet, you need to remember the rule of 3. So for every pet that you pick up, it's going to take 3 days from the time you bring them home to decompress and to realize what happened. Then it's going to take 3 weeks for them to get used to your habit, and then 3 months for them to start feeling like part of your family. So when you get that pet and they don't just immediately bond, don't give up, because you have to give them time. It's like going into a new school. You don't just automatically join in and you're everyone's best friend. Give them time. So 3 days to decompress and get used to everything, 3 weeks to learn your habits and your routines, and then 3 months to feel like they're part of the family. So there you have it.
Now, Taylor, are you scared of
Yeah.
snakes?
I'm not scared of snakes.
Would you like to see a beautiful snake?
Show me that beautiful snake.
Not in any dirty term.
It came out way too fast for me to really think about what I was saying, and now I completely regret it. So, the snake.
So this one is Annie. Annie is the California king snake.
I don't know about you guys, but I usually imagine what an animal would sound like if they could talk. And I just imagined Ellie as like a total valley girl, shaped like a California king snake.
Annie is, so the really cool thing about California king snakes is they can eat poisonous snakes, but they are not poisonous.
Oh.
So she could eat a viper or a rattlesnake and be just fine. So there.
She's so sweet.
She is. She's 7 years old. She just got done shedding, so she's like super shiny.
Shiny.
But she's 7 years old.
Same.
There's Miss Annie.
Oh, that was perfect. Hi, Annie. What's up, pal?
Snakes are naturally curious. So if you see them in your home in the winter, they're not trying to like get in or anything. Like they're just trying to get warm because they're cold-blooded and they're naturally curious. They just want to see what's happening. So especially if they look like this, if you're in the California area, completely harmless. Don't kill them. Send them on their way because they will eat the rodents, spiders, bugs, dangerous snakes. So these are good to have around your house.
Yeah. Man, I've never understood the senseless snake killing. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm vegetarian. I don't believe in killing any of the animals. So whenever there's any kind of animal, whether it's a snake or a possum, I always advocate for a catch and release policy.
Exactly.
And I mean, even with her being the size that she is, technically she could kill me by strangulation, but I'd probably have enough time to stop her, you know? Like,
and also, my middle name is Danger.
Well, I mean, I've had her long enough where she knows better. Snakes will develop a sense of familiarity, much like a dog. They don't have the ability to show happy or sad, but they do know what they're comfortable with and what's normal. So she knows she knows that
She
I
looks super comfortable with you.
She's going down my shirt, but she's totally okay with me being here. So
yeah. That's awesome. So do you ever let the different species play with each other? Like, do the dogs get along with the snake or no?
The dogs don't care about the snakes. Vengeance loves the snakes, but with like Annie, with her being so thin, and that's a natural thinness, I wouldn't want her to get accidentally stepped on or bit because of the large dogs.
Yeah.
Sally being, she's as big as round as a pop can, and she could hurt one of the dogs by biting them if she wanted to. And then Ted, he's just a jerk, so he doesn't really interact with anything.
Yeah, Ted's the mean snake we have.
What kind of snake is Ted?
Ted is a sunbeam. So they're from Thailand. They're next to impossible to breed in captivity. So he was caught in Thailand and then shipped over here, where someone bought him at a reptile show and brought him home and decided they didn't want him anymore because he's mean. That's how I ended up with him.
Well, no wonder he's cranky.
Yeah.
Right. Now we will have, like we did announce last week, we'll have a new pet coming in the next, probably 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yep.
Not yet.
Maybe a little bit longer. It takes a little bit longer for her to molt. But we will be getting a pink-toed tarantula.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Oh, cool.
I hate spiders.
Tarantulas aren't spiders, though.
They have 8 legs. Don't like them.
Too many legs.
Wait, I thought tarantulas had 6 legs.
I think they have 8.
They have 8.
Maybe I'm super wrong.
No, now it's time to pull out phones.
Yeah, I feel like I need to fact check myself.
Another cool fact about snakes is they pee and poop and lay eggs from the same bowl.
According to Wikipedia.org, a tarantula has 4 pairs of legs and 2 additional pairs of appendages.
So 8 legs.
Oh, all right. I'm full of lies.
8 legs and then 2 additional appendages is what she said.
Yeah.
So 10 appendages total.
Yes. The 2 additional appendages are next to their mouth, and it helps them shove the food into their mouth.
Yeah.
Kind of like the, predator.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she will not be playing with the snakes because she is a tarantula and they are venomous.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the dogs play with the rats.
They do. I do like to put my rats in their little balls and they run around and the dogs can't get enough of it.
Oh, funny. I bet that's a good way to wear all the animals out and
It is.
Exercise.
So our last section is we have to taste a juice we've never tasted before.
Ooh, okay.
So I generally do high neck or salts on this because Nick can't do high neck or salt. And I thought, you know what? We have Taylor here and we both love Eric. So I am trying Dragon Shake in a 12.
Oh, yeah.
I have never tried Dragon Shake in a 12. I have tried it on an RDA and I liked it, but I do know that salts and high neck can taste a little bit different than a regular traditional nicotine. So I have it in my Caliburn.
Oh, nice. I'm so excited for you.
That tastes really good. It reminds me of drinking a milkshake on a beach. Like a nice creamy flavor, but also tropical. So being that it's wintertime, I feel like a warmer happiness kind of thing. Like I feel like I should be drinking a dragon fruit milkshake in the Cancun area.
So just like you have your dad, Eric D'Angelo, the maker of Deep Cuts, Vinyl, and Vapor, is my dad.
Oh,
yeah.
He's a really cool dude.
He's amazing.
His artwork is beautiful.
Oh my gosh. He is so talented.
He drew that.
Put your hand behind it. It's blurry, babe. Back it up.
I'm horrible at this internet thing, and I have a snake trying to go on the keyboard. So if anyone gets any random messages, I apologize. Come back.
But yeah, Eric has a great line called Deep Cuts. He has one that's Psycho Cruller. Psycho Cruller is a cruller donut with a honey glaze. No, a caramel glaze on top.
Yeah, caramel.
And he has the dragon fruit shake, which is kind of self-explanatory, a dragon fruit milkshake. And then he has his newest release, which is PB Party,
Which is the peanut butter cheesecake. Oh my god. It is
I
so
haven't had that one yet either. That's going to be coming up. I'm going to have to try that one soon.
Yeah, that is one of the best peanut butters I've tried in my career of vaping.
What about you, Nick? Are you trying anything new today?
So I am, but it's not a new one for me. It's one I haven't had in probably about a year or two. It's the Jam Monster that I was vaping on earlier, the strawberry peanut butter and jelly. And I love it. It's a great strawberry on the inhale and a nice peanut butter that's smooth on the exhale. I still think I prefer Eric's peanut PB Party to this one though. But it's a great liquid. And so far, I mean, it hasn't done bad on the coils, which is great.
Well, I was trying to see if I have anything new within arm's reach, and I don't. Dylan might be coming through.
Okay, well, we can say hi to Dylan.
Oh.
And I know you have a big, giant puppy.
That's no way to talk about Dylan.
That's funny. He is such a good boy. So this is super new. I don't know if it's available in the States.
It is.
Coiled. Oh, so coiled herd, Boule Bolu, which is like, I know it's banana, but it doesn't vape like a banana. It vapes just like, I don't know, kind of like a banana split or like vanilla pudding with bananas on top.
Okay.
And it's just, I don't know. There's nothing I can compare it to because it's super, super unique. There's some caramel notes, maybe some like strawberry or cherry drizzle notes, and it's just 100% delicious.
Nice.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite newer flavor.
It's definitely something I've been eyeballing it because I love bananas. I mean, like, my vengeance is banana caramel candy. So it's bananas kind of in my thing. So I'm trying
I think you'll go bonkers for this then.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it is that time to call it an end. And to all the viewers and people that are watching this on YouTube afterwards, I am so sorry for all the technical issues that we've had. Eventually, we will get them all worked out, I promise.
I really suck. I have not even looked at the chat. I've been too involved in the conversation.
Well, the way we're finally able to see each other is I can't look at the chat right now. So anybody who's sent me messages, I'm sorry again.
And one more time, there's the link for the Grinch Relief Fund. Make sure you find us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We also have a Patreon, and our Patreon gets to not only pick out the pup of the week that we get to showcase from our own personal puppies, they also get first dibs on stash. So, like, anytime we release a new flavor, they're going to get it first.
Yep. And with that being said, guys, I hope all of y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We will be talking to y'all soon. Have a great night.